tardes, señor. ¿Has visto este hombre? No. ¿Estás seguro? Segurísimo, señor. Mire, señor, en este pueblo no es bueno hablar con desconocidos. ¿O si están vigilando? Vamos. Arre. Arre. Buenas tardes, señorita. ¿Me permite un minuto para hablar?
Would you rather speak in English?
Sí. Yeah, sure. How do you know I do?
I saw the men you came into town with.
You speak the language well?
Thank you. I study in the city. We do not see many strangers in this town anymore. Why are you here?
We're looking for a man. Have you seen this guy? What about this guy? All right.
Does this have something to do with the rebels? The RAC?
Maybe. Have they been through here?
They took my brother from them.
Well, boss, couldn't get anyone to talk. They're afraid of something. Yeah. Scattered that. 10 kilometers on foot to the coordinates for the satellite spotted beam. Never dark before we get there. Gotta find someplace to stay. Okay, let's pack and stack it, boys and girls. No time for chit-chat.
Well, make time. And CIS?
Same NCIS you hung up on earlier. Sorry, got nothing more to say.
You said you spoke to Petty Officer Dean. Not sure what your relationship with him is exactly, but I can't imagine he's worth going to prison for.
Prison? For shipping a box? What was in this box? I have no clue. It was sealed shut when they dropped it off.
Who's they?
Hudson and Dean asked me for a favor, so I said sure, and handed their package to our home. You expect us to believe you're stupid enough to send some mystery box to Paraguay? Yeah. 3 of us got way back.
You guys served together?
No, I never actually made it through basic. We met down at the anchor bar. All the SEAL team was hanging out there. And you do pretty much anything they asked, right, mates? Anything within reason. We're American heroes. Okay? Hey, find anything? Yeah. I'm gonna see that. Only one room. Hope you don't know me. I don't. Yeah, I got it. Who are you talking to? Bishop? Yep. You ready for that, Timmy? No. What Bishop said? We should go to church. Oh, my mom will be so happy right now. Hermana, disculpe. Por favor, tú, Your Honor. Señora, necesitamos su ayuda. Esta persona, creemos nosotros que estaba esperando un paquete aquí.
¿Usted quién es?
Somos agentes federales de los Estados Unidos. I think I'm the one you need to speak to. Yes, ma'am. We think he's around here, correct? Have you seen him? Petty Officer Dean?
It's Starbucks caramel macchiato at home. This changes everything. Starbucks Creamer.
Let's hide the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, it's Mr. Geico. It's what you do.
Skip to cool relief fast. With Alka-Seltzer Plus, the beer Power Fast Fizz dissolves quickly, instantly ready to start working. So fast.
Take a piece of chocolate if you're the tallest. Take a piece of chocolate if you're better at eating your vegetables. Take a piece of chocolate if you love sharing.
Overspending on a retinol cream? Just one jar of Olay Retinol 24 hydrates better than the $100 retinol cream. For smooth, bright skin or your money back. Olay, face anything. And try new Retinol 24 Max.
Experience clean in a whole new way. Now Roomba vacuums exactly where you need it
Alexa, tell Roomba to vacuum in front of the couch.
and offers personalized cleaning suggestions for a clean unique to you and your home. Roomba and the iRobot format. Only from iRobot. Hey, Rachel Ray.
Hey, Brad. Today we're whipping up some delicious recipes. So, who's hungry?
Pets love Rachel Ray Nutrition. It's kitchen-inspired recipes with real meat, poultry, or fish. Rachel Ray Nutrition. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
Could you make that to Bradley?
Brad, I got you, man.
Bradley, dish the greasy wings and get a delicious Subway footlong. Try my favorite turkey. Order on the app.
Anything for my fans, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Hey, you gotta take that. Get food that's good for you, but good for you. Now, only in the Subway app, get a free footlong when you buy two, because it's footlong season.
Do you have any idea how hot that is? You don't even have a clue, buddy.
Some of us have thrived, others not so much. I'm impressed.
Who are you?
I'm impressed.
Yowie wowie, trick or treat. Darkness will be unleashed tonight as Halloween Havoc makes its return for the first time in 20 years. Coming up next, AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT Halloween Havoc live reactions, play-by-play. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button, share on social media, hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Dynamite, hashtag WWE NXT, hashtag Halloween Havoc as well. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated too. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Coming up at the top of the hour, AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT Halloween Havoc for the first time in 2 decades. Tonight on WWE NXT Halloween Havoc. Now, some aspects could be changed due to a COVID-19 positive in the WWE. We will find out for sure this evening, but Halloween Havoc returning for the first time in 20 years. The spin the wheel, make the deal will be in effect as well for 2 championship matches, as Damian Priest will defend his NXT North American Championship against Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae as well for the NXT Women's Championship. We'll also get a Haunted House of Terror match, which is actually today's question of the day over on social media, Facebook and Twitter respectively. Be sure to go vote on that poll. You can also let me know in the comments below who you have winning the House of Horror, Haunted House of Terror match, between Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes. I don't even know what the hell I just said. But maybe we'll get that match later on tonight too, because it is spin the wheel, make a deal. I have no idea what type of matches are going to be on that wheel for respective matches later on tonight. They could change up a few things, as mentioned, because of a COVID-19 positive in WWE. They are still allowing fans in attendance, but of course they will be in pods, socially distanced, and wearing masks. We also have Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez, and then Santos Escobar versus Jake Atlas as well in a non-title cruiserweight championship match. Pat McAfee's supposed to be on the show tonight, as well with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, as they won the NXT Tag Team Championships last week over Breezango. They'll be on the show in some capacity. Don't know any more than that at this point in time. So Halloween Havoc, 2 matches with Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal. However, on AEW Dynamite, we'll get a Lumberjack Championship match with Cody and Orange Cassidy for the TNT title, as both WWE, NXT Halloween Havoc, and AEW Dynamite about to begin very shortly. We'll also on AEW this evening continue the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. That will feature Hangman Adam Page and Wardlow, along with Kenny Omega and Penta L0M, formerly known as Pentagon Jr. Semifinals of that tournament tonight before the winners, more so than not, Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, as I've stated previously, face off a week from Saturday at AEW Full Gear to become the new AEW #1 contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. As also at AEW Full Gear on November the 7th, we'll get Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match for the AEW World Title. Kingston going to be in action tonight as well versus Matt Sydal. Serena Deeb will defend her new NWA Women's Championship title after she just won that recently. And then we're supposed to have a few other segments on AEW tonight as well, with FTR and the Young Bucks in an interview of some sorts. Don't really know a whole lot about that. They've been teasing some sort of announcement. They're supposed to face off at Full Gear as well for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. So probably just a little bit of a tease, hyping up that match, of course, a week from Saturday. And then we're supposed to also have a Inner Circle Town Hall meeting with the Inner Circle, of course, the champion or demigod himself, Chris Jericho, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the Salt of the Earth, MJF. So after their steak dinner they had last week on AEW, we'll have a town hall meeting tonight. So both Halloween Havoc and AEW Dynamite about to begin. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions. Play, chat questions and comments, always great. Appreciate it. I'll get to those in a second. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE NXT. Once again, chat questions and comments, always great. Appreciate it. I'll get to them in a second. So coming up next, WWE NXT Halloween Havoc. They have the stage all set up. I saw a video of that a short time ago. As mentioned, some aspects of the show tonight very well could be changed due to a COVID-19 positive, but I did see that they did pull somebody from tonight's show that they advertised, but of course don't know by any means who that is at this point in time. So we're going to find out live tonight once WWE NXT does in fact begin coming up shortly. But they are allowing fans inside the new WWE Capitol Wrestling Center on the grounds of the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Of course, in pods, as mentioned, socially distanced, wearing masks, and we'll have to see how Halloween Havoc turns out tonight. Honestly, with the 2 Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal matches, both championship caliber, with Priest and Gargano, along with Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, and then that Haunted House of Terror match once again. I want to make sure I get that right. It's Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes, which should be a showstopper. So, honestly, from top to bottom, both AEW and NXT this evening on the card, for this matter, in my opinion, pretty damn good, honestly, head-to-head, once again, of course, on USA and TNT, respectively. But we'll have to see how both shows turn out. WWE's been bringing back some old-school pay-per-views for NXT this year, and I'm thinking right now, too, because if they keep going the way they're going and continue to have either Saturday or Sunday pay-per-views as normal for NXT, come February, we could see a return of St. Valentine's Day Massacre. next February the 14th, 2021, as they brought back In Your House back in June. Tonight we got Halloween Havoc, a few days before Halloween and the full moon on Saturday night. So coming up next, as mentioned, WWE NXT Halloween Havoc, along with AEW Dynamite, and yeah, we could see a few championships change hands. We could see a few returning superstars as always tonight too, but only time's going to tell over the next few hours or so. NXT and AEW, of course, always on from 8 to 10 on Wednesday nights. However, tonight NXT, they're getting a little bit of an overrun until about 10 after. So AEW is going to wrap up then, of course, beforehand, about 10 minutes prior, and then NXT will continue their main event, whatever match, of course, that is. We'll probably have a few added in filler segments or matches as well as we normally do, but of course only time's going to tell. But nonetheless, excited for the returning Halloween Havoc, and then also AEW Dynamite this evening. Cody and Orange Cassidy has a rematch from 2 weeks back during their anniversary show. This time around it's a lumberjack match, so basically everybody that's not on the card in a match or a backstage segment of some sorts probably going to be ringside, as they're normally ringside regardless, down in Jacksonville at Daly's Place, right outside of TIAA Bank Field, home of the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars. But I'm thinking because NXT is getting that overrun, we're going to have somebody not big by any means, but somebody who's been injured recently, whether or not Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, who's still the NXT champion, or even, you know, somebody incoming debuting with the company. I just have a feeling that due to the fact they're giving that overrun tonight, something's going to happen after AEW goes off the air, and NXT is going to have the wrestling community buzzing until their next, who knows when, takeover event will be, potentially Survivor Series weekend, maybe even, I mean, hell, we just had one a few weeks back. We could have a Christmas one for all I know. I don't know. But we just came off of Hell in a Cell on Sunday night, so we're on the build now to Survivor Series. So after Halloween Havoc tonight, and not knowing if NXT is going to be part of the show for Survivor Series, we'll have to see how the build is following night moving forward, of course, until a next pay-per-view for the WWE, whether that be a takeover event or a main roster pay-per-view, of course. Shotzi Blackheart also going to be hosting Halloween Havoc tonight, so now the opening video package for WWE NXT Halloween Havoc, of course, a formerly known WCW pay-per-view that would always, of course, take place around the end of October for Halloween. Tonight, we got a few championship matches, as mentioned. Spin the wheel, make a deal. And now we're inside the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, on the grounds of the WWE Performance Center, formerly the WWE Performance Center. They just changed the name, and they, of course, inserted a few more boards for the Tron, and just as Shotzi Blackheart now sitting on top of the stage in a rocking chair, and then there's that wheel. Hashtag Halloween Havoc. We got MJF and Sammy Guevara backstage arguing with each other. Shotzi's letting her hair down, howling like a wolf. And we're going to kick things off with Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. And they're bringing everybody out. Not letting anybody go home mad tonight, by the looks of it, just to kick us off. Go big or go home. First time in 20 years for Halloween Havoc, so they're not selling it short by any means. MJF and Wardlow gonna kick off the night, Wardlow against Hangman Adam Page in the semifinals this evening. So a musical entrance for Damian Priest as he's about to defend his NXT North American title. He's already in the ring. All right. Yeah, the new Capitol Wrestling Center, they just upgraded the PC and tried to make it look as best they could, of course, but trying to compete, trying to make it look as similar as possible to the WWE Thunderdome. So Priest rocking out in the ring. And to get the show kicked off, we'll have Priest and Gargano for the NXT North American title. Wardlow and Hangman, as mentioned as well. So both of these opening contests should, on paper at least, be a few bangers. Now Gargano getting booed. I want to be shocked they take the title off of him and put it on Gargano. There's a huge-ass pumpkin sitting on top of the stage, too. Right in the center, right in front of that NXT X. So all heart and no soul for Johnny Wrestling. And in the meantime, he's going to cut that, more like carve it open. And of course, he's going to deflate that pumpkin now as we got Big Joseph along with good old Bad News Wade Barrett and Beth Phoenix on commentary. Shotzi up on the stage, spin the wheel, make a deal. What kind of match are we going to get for the NXT North American Championship? Spin the wheel chance. Hashtag spin the wheel. Hashtag Halloween Havoc. Shotzi has spun the wheel. What's it going to be for Priest and Gargano for the NXT North American Championship? A Devil's Playground match. As Shotzi laughs her ass off. Bell rings, match underway. This is a Devil's Playground match between Priest and Gargano for the NXT North American title on WWE NXT Halloween Havoc. We're also underway on AEW, as mentioned, with Wardlow and Hangman Adam Page. Hangman's going to win this. Kenny Omega is going to defeat Penta L0M, Pentagon Jr. And as I've said since the middle of July, it's going to be Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page at some point down the road. Now it's going to be at Full Gear for the number one contendership for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Hashtag NXT NA title for NXT North American title, of course. And they got the ropes painted up orange. Of course, orange tape. Trying to make it look as similar as they can to the old school Halloween Havoc pay-per-views, as well as the new WWE Capitol Wrestling Center at the WWE PC. Trying to make it look as similar to the new WWE Thunderdome. That, by the looks of it, they'll be moving out of Orlando from what I've heard, but only time's going to tell. I'm not going to believe it until I see it, of course, but it looks like they'll be continuing the Thunderdome aspect for the time being, but just moving shop to a different city because of the NBA season potentially going to be returning at home venues for all 30 teams. No more bubble by the time their season begins. At this point, we don't know when that's going to be by any means, but the Amway Center in Orlando, they want their Amway Center back, so they're basically going to be kicking the WWE out by the looks of it sometime soon. Now, hell, they could go to the PC for, all we know, and it'll be just a lower scaled Thunderdome, and it'll still be virtually for everybody, of course. They might allow fans in like they are now, but we'll see moving forward. Gargano now up on the middle rope. Priest was going to go for a DDT, and then Gargano reversed it. Now he's crawling out of the ring. He's on the ring apron now, ringside. dragging Priest underneath that bottom rope right from the entrance ramp. And now Johnny wrestling with a few left hands. Hangman and Wardlow. I believe this AEW episode, if I'm not mistaken, was pre-taped last week. Pretty sure there were spoilers out for this. Don't know how accurate those were because I didn't check them out by any means. But it doesn't look like they have fans in attendance up in the 200s and 300s at Daly's place, the amphitheater in Jacksonville, where they've had AEW, of course, since, for the most part, since the pandemic began. But if it is pre-taped, they would have done this after AEW last week, and all the fans would have left then. Because, yeah, it doesn't even seem like they're zooming in, and it looks dark up there where the fans would normally be at, and we got the AEW personnel ringside. And we still got that lumberjack match to come later on tonight. That'll more than likely be the main event of the evening, I'm thinking. And because it's a lumberjack match, you know, they could continue Cody Rhodes and Brody Lee, but Darby Allin's supposed to be getting an AEW TNT Championship opportunity at AEW Full Gear against whoever the champion is after tonight, whether that be Cody Rhodes or Orange Cassidy. We'll find out in due time. But as WWE NXT goes to a split-screen commercial, Priest driving Gargano ringside into the plexiglass barricade, more like the new steel cage Hell in a Cell barricade that they've inserted in Orlando. But yeah, as NXT goes to a split-screen commercial, this championship match continues, and then also in the meantime, this semifinal match on AEW with Wardlow and Hangman also continues with a good old friend of mine's girlfriend, Aubrey Edwards, officiating. And of course, wink wink, joking, if you didn't catch on, common sense people. Hopefully everyone's been safe. Thank you to everyone who tuned in for live reactions play last weekend. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you'll tune in this upcoming weekend for more live reactions play live right here on YouTube. Ohio State, Penn State, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Saturday and Sunday live right here on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below with that thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag WWNXT. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated.
Keytruda offer patients a longer life than chemotherapy, and it could be your first treatment for non-small cell lung cancer that has spread. Keytruda can be used for adults who test positive for PD-L1 and whose tumors do not have an abnormal EGFR or ULK gene. Keytruda is not chemotherapy. It's the immunotherapy used to treat more patients with advanced lung cancer than any other. Keytruda helps your immune system fight cancer, but can also cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body. This can happen during or after treatment and may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have new or worse cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, nausea or vomiting, rapid heartbeat, increased hunger or thirst, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in urine or eyesight, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, confusion or memory problems, fever, rash, itching, or flushing. These are not all possible side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems. If you've had an organ transplant, had or plan to have a stem cell transplant, or have lung, breathing, or liver problems.
Before I think of the stuff I might miss. But now with Keytruda, we have hope.
Living longer is possible. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. Ask your doctor about Keytruda.
Let him go.
We're not young, Margaret. Yeah, we're not old.
Don't start what you can't finish. You're sure. So.
I saw her working to protect her grandson. Come with us. He'd kill me. Him and his mother. You're with me on this, right?
Right behind you.
Let him go. Open the door.
Baby number 213. 1, 2, 3.
We're good team.
It is pandemonium. NXT North American Championship on the line
Devil's Playground match, no countouts, no disqualifications. As falls count anywhere, anything goes. So, in conclusion, anything can happen in this match because anything goes in a Devil's Playground match as we're back underway on WWE NXT this evening for Halloween Havoc. Wardlow and Hangman up on the top turnbuckle. Hangman in full control. Damian Priest with a cover on Gargano on NXT. Kick out at 2.5. Hangman with a big clothesline. Wardlow down on one knee. Hangman going to go for another clothesline from the other side. This time he's down and out. Cover 1, 2, and a 3. Hangman Adam Page defeats Wardlow. And he'll advance now to the finals of this AEW World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator Tournament to determine the new #1 contender for the AEW World title. Omega's going to win the other match later on tonight. And then we get former tag team partners Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page facing off for the #1 contendership. Priest and Gargano. We got a cover now on the steel steps. 1, 2, and Priest kicks out. AEW advertising what is still yet to come tonight. Shawn Spears is going to be in action as well, so that's an add-in from what they promoted. So we'll also get Shawn Spears, one known as the Perfect 10 Ty Dillinger, on AEW this evening. Town hall meeting with the Inner Circle. Eddie Kingston and Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, who debuted for AEW at All Out and completely botched his first ever move with the company. Well, hasn't been seen since, but he's on AEW Dynamite this evening. Kingston's going to win, you would think, unless Moxley comes out, as we see John Moxley video package now, as he's still the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. He's going to defend that championship against Eddie Kingston a week from Saturday at AEW Full Gear. So if he comes out, screws over Kingston, you know, continues the beef there. And we see Gargano open up a casket, and then a fake skeleton comes out and he super kicks that. Young Bucks would be happy, as they're fighting ringside now. Now actually backstage. And as they walk by a few garbage cans and past the table, Johnny Gargano with a fire extinguisher right to Damian Priest. But as I was saying with Moxley potentially coming out, screwing over Eddie Kingston, if that happens, of course, then Matt Sydal would probably pick up the win, get him something potentially going in the near future, build him up to whatever they want him to be. But then, that, as mentioned, is going to continue the... And speaking of Eddie Kingston's coming out right now, so it looks like Kingston and Sydal's coming up next. Butcher and the Blade, along with the Bunny, by his side. No Lucha Brothers because Rey Fenix injured, and then Penta's replacing him tonight. And Kenny Omega, Penta, still to come, of course, but my pick for this Eddie Kingston match is, of course, Eddie Kingston. He's damn good in the ring. He's damn good on the mic. He's one of the most underrated wrestlers that they have right now, I believe. And they're doing it right. They're working up, not really slow, but slow enough to, when they get to a point, it'll just blow up. And I mean, he's well known to begin with, and as we go to once again another split screen commercial on WWE NXT, Gargano with that dumpster right into Damian Priest, kick out at 2.5 on the cover, and so two commercials now side by side with the AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT Halloween Havoc. Over time, Eddie Kingston's going to be one of the faces, I do believe, of AEW. Just matter of when, of course, because he just debuted within the past few months. And like I was saying, Eddie Kingston over Matt Sydal, unless, Moxley comes out, interferes, screws over Kingston, and then that, of course, leads into their championship match a week from Saturday at Full Gear, and then Matt Sydal picks up the win. And like I was saying, whatever they're going to do with him, if they are even going to do anything with him, because I do believe that tonight's his first appearance, one of his first appearances, I should say, since that AEW All Out Battle Royal appearance that he botched when he slipped off the top rope. So we'll see what happens with the rest of NXT and Dynamite this evening.
Surprising but true. Cricket has nationwide 5G.
So as Priest and Gargano fight into the fans, which is a bit surprising, to be honest with you, especially with them still allowing fans in the building tonight after another recent COVID outbreak. So I've heard. If anybody was at the PC, at the Capitol Wrestling Center, since I do believe it was the 16th of October, which would be 2 weeks this upcoming Friday. Of course, quarantine for 2 weeks, so they say. And then they open it up, which, okay, the show goes on, but it's not like they haven't been able to not have fans for how long until they just brought them back, so I don't get, honestly, if it would have been a big deal or not if they wouldn't have had fans. So, is what it is. I mean, I'm not really that worried about it. I'm not there. I'm here. But of course, that could just be an article written, a report made, just to get people talking. Hey, we got to tune in tonight just to see how they're going to, play this out. If they are going to have fans, if they're not, blah, 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 blah. One thing after another on down the line. So, in the meantime, Eddie Kingston in the ring, cutting a promo as good old Jake the Snake Roberts and Lance Archer in the crowd, in the seats, by themselves. As 2 weeks back during the anniversary show for AEW, that's when Moxley defeated Lance Archer. And then, because you bring in Eddie Kingston into this mix too, because you go back to that Battle Royal that had Matt Sydal in it as he makes his entrance. We are all one, says Evan Bourne. Hopefully he's not going to get RKO'd off the top rope tonight by any means, but nonetheless, this Devil's Playground match continues in the meantime with Damian Priest and Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. They're now on the top of the entrance by the wheel where Shotzi's rocking chair was. And this is a Devil's Playground match once again. Priest defending his North American Championship against Johnny Gargano. But this goes back, this feud on AEW with Moxley, Archer, Kingston, and Sydal now, goes back to All Out. That's when Sydal debuted. Lance Archer won the whole goddamn thing. Kingston said he was never eliminated, which he wasn't. Slid underneath the bottom rope, never eliminated. So technically co-winners, but we all know that happens all the time. And then they had at the anniversary show 2 weeks back, Moxley and Archer, and then after the match, after Moxley won, that's when Eddie Kingston turned after cutting a promo and attacked Moxley, setting up, of course, their match a week from Saturday now at Full Gear. So Eddie Kingston and Matt Sydal in action as this North American Championship match continues with Priest and Gargano. Gargano with a garbage can. That thing's all bent up now. Took about 10 shots to the back of Damian Priest. And as mentioned, they're up on the top of the stage there where that spin the wheel, make a deal's at. Where's Wayne Brady when you need him? Johnny Gargano now talking to the wheel. Stupid wheel. Now Gargano doing the Priest arrow. Gonna go for a super kick, and then Priest gets up, hits a reversal, kick right to the side of the head. And then the garbage can up on the side of Gargano's head now. Same kick right to the side of the head. So the garbage can comes back to bite Johnny Gargano, as he's now down and out. And who the hell is that? Somebody from behind, dressed as Scream, attacking Damian Priest with a kendo stick. And Gargano with a DDT off of the wheel to Damian Priest. I bet you that's Ciampa.
Gargano seems like he's seen a ghost. Seen the Grim Reaper, that's who he's seen.
And yeah, the Grim Reaper walks away now. Ref says, hey, come on. Actually, you know who it is? It's probably Candice. It's probably Candice LeRae, even though she's up against Io Shirai tonight for the NXT Women's Championship. And now Gargano has been given a tombstone, and then Priest gets sent flying off of the stage through what looked to be a dumpster of some sorts once again, and then he broke out the side of it. And he's covered in dirt now.
Damian Priest might be out. Johnny Gargano climbing down to get falls count anywhere, and this devil's
Gargano now crawling over. Who the hell was under that, though? That's what I want to know. Whoever it is, of course, helping out Gargano right now, but then eventually will turn on if Gargano picks up the win tonight. 1, 2, 3. Johnny Gargano is once again your new NXT North American Champion, defeating Damian Priest tonight in the opening contest of Halloween Havoc after a 20-year hiatus during a Devil's Playground match. Crowd not happy. Crowd not happy. Gargano, new champion though. So Priest became champion during NXT TakeOver 30. Held it for a little over 2 months. And after the Grim Reaper came out, it was a steel pipe, so they say. Looked more like a kendo stick to me. But after that, that's when Gargano had a DDT, as we see a few replays here. And then a tombstone right off the stage, and then the cover. 1, 2, 3. Gargano is your new NXT North American Champion once again.
And then Johnny Gargano in this Devil's Playground match. No disqualification, falls count anywhere, would crawl over the body of Damian Priest and secure the North American.
I do believe I said right as this match was getting underway, or whenever I was previewing, of course, before the show began tonight, wasn't going to be shocked by any means if they did have Gargano defeat Priest and have him become new NXT North American champion once again. Now moving forward, this goes back. Oh my God. Where in the hell is Waldo? Where's Vic Joseph? Yeah, Wade Barrett did challenge Vic to a costume contest, and Wade's back as Bad News Barrett. And I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Wade Barrett going as himself tonight during Halloween Havoc. Back as Bad News Barrett. Vic Joseph as Waldo. Where in the hell is Waldo? And now Pat McAfee for the brand with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan walking backstage. And a side-by-side with McAfee and company walking backstage, and then a highlight from last week on NXT during the main event of the evening. Burch and Lorcan up against Breezango for the NXT Tag Team titles. And McAfee came out with one of the most absurd masks I've ever seen. It was so stupid, but it worked. And that's all that matters. And, of course, he came out then, was strutting the Undisputed Era sign, and seems to be the new leader of this little faction they got going 2 weeks running now with McAfee, Burch, and Oney Lorcan. So, we'll see where it goes, but looks like Pat McAfee and the boys are coming up next on NXT for Halloween Havoc this evening. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. In the meantime, Matt Sydal with a cover on Eddie Kingston, kick out at 2 as they preview Full Gear up on the Titantron live on November the 7th, a week from Saturday. I'll have a preview predictions of AEW Full Gear during an earlier live stream that day, live right here on YouTube with college football. That'll be Maryland at Penn State, so be sure to tune in and watch those live reactions play of college football, Maryland at Penn State. Check out my AEW Full Gear preview predictions. They pan back to Jake Snake Roberts and Lance Archer, as well as mentioned as they're in the crowd. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this was pre-taped last week after AEW from a week ago. But still, honestly, the cards from top to bottom just stacked to the core. In my opinion, at least. Everyone has their opinion, but like I said earlier, just have a very, very good, strong feeling that both AEW and NXT for Halloween Havoc this evening are going to be some damn good shows. So now we got Eddie Kingston putting Matt Sydal in a submission and a headlock middle of the ring. And then here come the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny, who actually around this time last year, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, late October, late November, around Thanksgiving, of course, when everything was normal and we had fans in the stands. That's when Butcher and Blade debuted. I believe it was the night before Thanksgiving, to be honest with you. Coming up on a year ago now, next month. But a week from Saturday, Eddie Kingston's going to challenge Jon Moxley in an I Quit match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He defeats Matt Sydal this evening, formerly known as Evan Bourne, of course, in the WWE. And they preview now that I Quit match with Moxley and Kingston. I Quit at AEW Full Gear for the world title. FTR, After Rest, and the Young Bucks as well for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. That should be a damn good match. We've wanted that for how many years now? They teased over the summer, thought we were going to get it all out. They save it for the next pay-per-view, of course, afterwards. And now, a week from Saturday, live on pay-per-view at AEW Full Gear, it will be FTR and the Young Bucks. Now we've got FTR and the Young Bucks with Excalibur and Tully Blanchard. And a sit-down, zoomy zoom interview, it looks like. And as mentioned earlier, it was supposed to be an interview of some sorts with potential announcement on top of that, but We'll have to find out and see here for sure. It'll probably just be all, we're going to add this stipulation to the match. It'll be some sort of old school tag team championship stipulation for that championship match, I'm thinking, a week from Saturday. Now we got a video package on the current NXT champion and the Prince himself, Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor. However, he's currently on the shelf injured. He won the title last month after a few weeks prior Karrion Kross defeated Keith Lee. And then we had that fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match between Balor, Cole, Ciampa, and Gargano that ended in a tie before a week later. We had, as William Regal says, boo the hell out of Cameron Grimes. Haunted House of Terror once again with Grimes and Dexter Lumis still to come tonight on NXT, with Halloween Havoc returning this evening for the first time in 20 years. Grimes, Trevor Lee, damn good wrestler. They just haven't given him the push he deserves. And he's all freaked out and scared out of his goddamn mind. Pat McAfee for the brand in the ring now in the meantime with Birch and Lorcan up on the top turnbuckles. Well, 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 says McAfee. Happy Halloween.
Everybody's saying that Halloween Havoc is probably the second best night that this brand has had in the last couple months.
Second best night NXT's had in the past few months. Of course, TakeOver 30 when he went up head-to-head with Adam Cole. Yeah, he had everyone talking. He put on a damn good show. Go back and watch that replay on demand live right here on YouTube. NXT TakeOver 30 live reactions. And McAfee, an all-pro punter in the NFL for almost a decade. Stooges ringside, everyone. That's an idiot in the wrestling community on. McAfee just called Adam Cole a scumbag. We all know the history with the two of them. NXT live event back in 2018 in Indianapolis is what started it all. And then social media shots left and right from each other until it settled down, and then Cole brought on, or McAfee, excuse me, brought on Cole on the Pat McAfee show, and it absolutely blew up after that, and then they of course had the match at TakeOver. McAfee listing off everything he's done since he's retired from the NFL. Alright, McAfee's the one behind Ridge Holland attacking Adam Cole. But then Ridge Holland going down with an injury, and he's going to be out of action for quite a while, it looks like. So they're going to continue Cole and McAfee, it looks like. And we could get that at some point down the road.
I was just sitting at home with my big old brain watching the entire thing unfold. And on Wednesday, I watched the guy that I gave a Mercedes to raise hell on the Undisputed Era fracture his leg in 700 pieces.
McAfee, one of the best on the mic. I mean, if you've ever watched the Pat McAfee show, you know that. But, like, if he would ever literally want to do professional wrestling full time, because right now he's
And I said, let's not give up just yet. I reach out.
He's short of on a
And asked him if he wanted to be my guy with his guy.
feud-to-feud basis, but this feud with Cole is continuing it by the looks of it.
Very noble individuals here.
Don't want to say part-time, but that's sort of what he is right now. And he's that one big celebrity right now that they're bringing in, if you even want to consider him that. But disrespect, shock the system. Here comes Adam Cole, baby. It's actually Kyle O'Reilly. So Kyle O'Reilly, Undisputed Era, coming out. We'll probably get Bobby Fish or Roderick Strong as well. Or we'll get a 3-on-3 main event at some point. A 6-man tag. And then we'll get a tag team championship match as well, with Birch and Lorcan, of course, against the Undisputed Era. But McAfee just saying how disrespectful NXT is. That, of course, Birch and Lorcan should have already had mics in their hand, phones in their back pocket. And Pete Dunne returning with a few steel chairs. Pete Dunne looking to be in potentially the best shape I think he's ever been in. And McAfee golf clap, welcome back. So Pete Dunne returning to NXT tonight during Halloween Havoc. In the meantime, let's sing along to Judas by Fozzy as the Inner Circle with your demo god of the champion Chris Jericho make their way to the ring for tonight's Inner Circle Town Hall meeting. So now Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly with 2 steel chairs up against 3 of Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan. Wasn't expecting Pete Dunne to return tonight by any means, but like I said, potentially to have, and in the meantime, Pete Dunne pulls a Seth Rollins, and Pete Dunne attacking Kyle O'Reilly, hits him with a steel chair from behind, a kick right to the side of the head. So Pete Dunne aligning himself with Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan as McAfee sits up on the top rope. So Pete Dunne returning as a heel. Of course, that's for the most part what he's always been. I thought he'd be on NXT UK because that just started back up recently. Pete Dunne now trying to break the left hand of Kyle O'Reilly. Actually kicks him in the back of the elbow. That had to hurt. And Pat McAfee is telling him, put O'Reilly up in the air. Let me powerbomb him. Actually, Burch and Lorcan, well, McAfee says, hold on. He's gonna lay down a steel chair, and then they hit a DDT from midair. Burch and Lorcan do to Kyle O'Reilly. So 4 with Pat McAfee, the returning Pete Dunne and Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan taking out Kyle O'Reilly. We're going to get the 4 of them versus the Undisputed Era, you would think, at some point. And then after that, it'll be Burch and Lorcan as your tag team champions against O'Reilly or whoever out of Strongfish with Roddy and Bobby, and then Adam Cole up against Pat McAfee. And in the meantime, Cameron Grimes once again backstage trying to get out of his match with Dexter Lumis, it looks like. Cameron Grimes telling William Regal to come on, follow me. Now he's outside. Is this haunted house of terror match going to happen outside now? There's a white van pulling up. Trick or treat. You want some candy? And somebody with a evil look in their eye sitting up front. Oh my. Thanks for the lift. Michael P.S. Hayes gets out of that white van dressed as a pumpkin. And just, well, the van's now pulling away as Cameron Grimes just got in. Like I was saying, there's somebody up front with an evil look in his eye that, of course, shined the light on his face. Freaked Grimes out. He stepped back. But then Michael P.S. Hayes, of all people, gets out. And cut a little promo there on Cameron Grimes. Couldn't really hear what he was saying. I'm surprised he wasn't singing along to his entrance music, as that was blaring in the background, as he did during WrestleMania 32 Hall of Fame. But Michael Hayes on Halloween Havoc tonight, getting out of the white van. He didn't give any candy to Cameron Grimes by any means, but yeah, Michael P.S.A. is making an appearance tonight on NXT. In the meantime, we got a few AEW superstars, a few AEW wrestlers asking some questions to the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho and MJF, during the town hall tonight. Saw Luchasaurus there a moment ago. Now Leva Bates, along with Peter Avalon, the librarians. Shh, quiet. As MJF and Jericho laugh him off. Eric Bischoff once again making another appearance on AEW this evening. Eric Bischoff now going to be asking a few questions, it looks like. It doesn't look like he's moderating this by any means. He's going to be asking questions this time around. And with Jericho and Orange Cassidy, they had, leading up to their match at All Out, they had brought in Bischoff to moderate one of those segments. I forget exactly what that segment was called, but they ended up having a damn good match at All Out. It was the first ever Mimosa Mayhem match that, of course, Orange Cassidy put Jericho through the top ringside and ended up picking up the win. But over time, all this is going to do with Jericho and MJF is lead to a match. It's just a matter of when that match is going to happen, whether that be a week from Saturday at Full Gear, if they're going to hold off, continue to build this up until Revolution, or if we're going to have another pay-per-view from now until then, in between at some point. I honestly do not know by any means, but some good action so far tonight on both AEW and NXT. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. We just saw Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, and Lorcan. McAfee with a damn good promo. Like I said, if he'd want to, turn into a pro wrestler, full time, I'm sure there wouldn't be a problem with that happening by any means. But of course, he's a busy man with everything that he's doing right now. So shout out to McAfee and the boys, and congrats to him. But he's back in NXT. He appeared a few times leading up to TakeOver 30, about 2 months ago now, and then hasn't been seen since, of course. Cole with the win. but McAfee did put on a damn good show that night. Had everyone talking, like you said. And because of that, with how good he is on the mic, and then putting on the stellar performance in the ring that nobody knew how he was going to perform, he'd be welcome back any time, but hasn't been seen since until last week, and then on tonight that just wrapped up. And Pete Dunne with the return, so it looks like it's as Santos Escobar is going to come out and go up against Jake Atlas in a non-title Cruiserweight Championship match, unless they've changed that. But in the meantime, we'll have to see what happens with this. Bell rings, match underway, big drop kick right off the bat. This town hall in AEW continues with Jericho and MJF. The rest of the Inner Circle actually, by the looks of it, wearing their jackets that MJF purchased them and gave as gifts. And then that steak dinner they had last week, that was awesome. I had vibes of what Jericho and Kevin Owens did a few years back in the WWE before they had their match at WrestleMania 33 with the click of a pen and the list. So we'll have to see if that's going to be the same route they're going with this or not, if MJF's going to be the one to turn on Jericho, because Owens was the one to turn on Chris back in early 2017. Or if Jericho's going to be the one to turn, or if MJF's going to join the Inner Circle and then they're going to drag this out, and you know, we're going to eventually at some point have a match between the two rather than, you know, so soon, because this just started. And how, you know, you go back to Jericho and Orange Cassidy, vibes with the same thing that I just mentioned a second ago as well, because that drug on for a good 3 months. And they had, I don't know how many matches. The third official rubber match was the Mimosa Mayhem, but Jericho and MJF now, as by the looks of it, this town hall wrapping up. We got Jericho and MJF on AEW, and Santos Escobar of Del Fantasma and Jake Atlas on NXT for Halloween Havoc this evening.
Kicks out at two. Escobar clearly not planning for this, did not know what levels of intensity that this man Jake Atlas had in the tank as he goes up top. Atlas, royal DDT, connects just like last week, into the cover, Brilliant, brilliant strategy there from Ricardo Del Fantasma.
Sammy Guevara and LAX, by the looks of it, not liking MJF to join the Inner Circle. And we're at a standstill. And it looks like Jericho and MJF, they'll continue on in the near weeks. However, in the meantime, we got a recap from AEW Dark last night. Will Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Santos Escobar victorious over Jake Atlas. Now Taz with the FTW Championship, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks. They haven't done anything with Cage. They haven't done anything with Wardlow. Absolutely pathetic. But I get they're building a company. I'm fine with what they're doing. I mean, the best thing in my eyes right now, AEW's doing is, of course, anything with Chris Jericho. With what he did with Orange Cassidy, that was awesome. With what he's doing with MJF right now is as good, if not better. Speaking of freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, here he comes. He's going to be taking on Cody Rhodes, by the looks of it, coming up next on AEW Dynamite in a lumberjack match for the AEW TNT Championship. And then for WWE as a whole, it has to be Bray Wyatt with the Firefly Funhouse and bringing in Alexa Bliss. However, up next on Halloween Havoc, we got the Haunted House of Terror match with Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis. That'll be coming up next on NXT as Shotzi Blackheart once again is howling like a wolf at the moon as she
Can't create the memories. We've made it the longest lasting, but only you can make it family. And that's why, for 80 years, we don't make G. You do.
Right now, get $3,750 combined cash allowance plus $750 bonus cash on 2020 Jeep Cherokee Mars. Scoot over. Squeeze in. Pull up a chair. Because life's just better when you believe there's always room for one more. Ritz, a taste of welcome.
Experience helps you navigate what comes next. At University of Phoenix, relevant life experience and eligible transfer credits can help you earn your degree faster and for less. See how much you can save at phoenix.edu.
People across America trust Nutrisystem because we deliver your favorite foods made healthier right to your door. Get 50% off a month of meals, plus a week of probiotic shakes free. Order now to get 50% off a month of meals delivered to your door. New to the breakfast battle, chocolatey like cereal. 24 grams of whole grains and chocolatey victory. Mikey likes it.
What are you doing? No. Get down.
At Burger King, when you order a 2 for $5, you might get a side of PS5. 2 for $5, mix and match. Buy and play games.
We gave new Dove Men Plus Care to Mike, who transforms homes for those in need.
Well, alright.
I feel comfortable and protected all day long.
Dove Men Plus Care, 48 hours.
That'll be the last time that animal's allowed in here.
Tostitos strips, the thickest chip yet.
I'm gonna get you. Just wait.
They're good. Hearts are better together. And what? Pass me some of that green stuff.
Sounds like justice at work.
I mean, we were like, he was my other half.
Mariska, she has another side to her that's a little off-key.
This is SV.
In the meantime, sorry for that. We got the AEW TNT Championship Lumberjack match coming up, along with tonight's Haunted House of Terror match on NXT with Halloween Havoc. Yeah, by the looks of it, all the black cats are out. It's Halloween time. It's Halloween Havoc. So, don't know why that just happened, but it did, and we move on. So, a little appearance there from a four-legged creature that, who knows, we could see a few more of those tonight on NXT with Halloween Havoc, because one, it's Halloween time, it's Halloween Havoc, and then coming up next is Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis in a haunted house of terror match, and we already saw a skeleton be discharged from a casket earlier, and now by the looks of it too, we got somebody, and that's Dexter Lumis. He's sitting up in a tree, staring down Cameron Grimes as Grimes is walking around, and we got this hashtag Halloween Havoc, hashtag Haunted House of Terror match about to begin, and by the looks of it, it's a cinematic match. It's got that cinematic feel to it. We've got a deer head now up on a wall, and Cameron Grimes from the backwoods of Carolina saying he's not scared, he's seen bigger. Now in the meantime, we got a doll riding around on a tricycle, and now Dexter Lumis trying to come in the front door from behind, and we'll get Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes in this Haunted House of Terror match about to kick us off. In the meantime, Cody Rhodes and Orange Cassidy, like I said. A lumberjack match for the TNT title. Cameron Grimes opens up the door. Cameron Grimes screams. He's freaked out because Dexter Lumis is standing right in front of him, and it was like pitch dark. This is, by the looks of it, similar to the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt payback match that they had a few years back. That was one of the first ever cinematic matches that the WWE did. That was after, of course, all of Matt Hardy's TNA matches with the Hardy Compound that they ran. But now, as Cameron Grimes is locked in a bathroom with somebody in a shower, he's going to start taking his clothes off now too, and he's about ready to get in the shower with whoever the hell is in there. And whoever the hell that's supposed to be freaks him out too, and he's being thrown out of the bathroom. Now he's running through the house, through all these rooms. Now he's sitting underneath a window, and then we see Dexter Lumis, of course, come from outside, throws Grimes into the corner. They're fighting in a abandoned house, a haunted house, I might add, a haunted house of terror, as Cody and Orange Cassidy in the meantime continue their TNT Championship match. And as the one fan was turned off due to a animal witch horror, but here we are. Now we got some other creature up above him on a fridge of some sorts, it looks like. I don't know. I cabinet. I don't even know what the hell that person just jumped off of, but they're freaking out. Cameron Grimes on his back. He's running around, knocking everything over in God's creation, and then throws whoever that was over a fence out front. But now we've got more zombies chasing him back into that white van that led him to the haunted house of terror. And Dexter Lumis is the one driving the car. So he's going to get out. That was good. I'm enjoying this match so far, honestly. And we're going to go to a commercial break. So to be continued. To be continued with Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis in tonight's Haunted House of Terror match during Halloween Havoc. Back to Bad News Barrett and Where's Waldo Vic Joseph on commentary. Cody and Orange Cassidy, OJ, off the top rope. And then a kick to Cody, sending him ringside through the ropes. The lumberjack match is mentioned too. So he's being hit at ringside, thrown back in the ring, kick out at 2. And by the looks of it, it'll be Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez coming up shortly on NXT for Halloween Havoc. And here comes Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez coming up next on NXT. Meanwhile on AEW, this lumberjack match continues during a split screen commercial. So the Nightmare family actually just grabbed Orange Cassidy ringside because it's a lumberjack match. They're also ringside. And then they took a few shots at him before throwing him back in the ring. So it's pretty even right now, I'd say, with Orange Cassidy and Cody Rhodes. And whoever wins this will face Darby Allin a week from Saturday at AEW Full Gear for the AEW TNT title. But yeah, it's that time of year. Full moon on Saturday. I mean, all these animals getting into anything and everything, just turning crazy by the looks of it. And as of lately, at least, I should say. But I don't know what the hell just happened within the past however long ago that was now, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't even know what time it was because I'm just dialed in, actually enjoying both AEW and NXT tonight. I've thought to this point both shows have been pretty good, stellar. We still got a long way to go, though. Of course, AEW going to end at their normal 10 o'clock time, but NXT going to get a little overrun. It's about 8:10 after 10 in about another hour or so. But yeah, normally I'll have a fan running. Of course, that's one of the sounds you'll always hear in the background. If you do tune in and watch, thank you if you are or if you have. But yeah, I don't know how a cat, okay, a semi-black cat, if you will. It's Halloween time. It's Halloween Havoc. It all adds up. It all makes sense, honestly, when it's all said and done. And you know, like I've said, getting into anything and everything recently, it is what it is. But what gets me, what beats me up is how the hell did an animal, not by turning a switch on and off, turn something off? And by something, I mean a fan, a ceiling fan at that, and not paint the walls red. So, yeah, I'm still a little, I don't even know how to describe it. Still a little confused, I guess you could say, on one, why that animal was here. Of course, family pet, but still hasn't come in here and God knows how long. And then makes her way, almost knocking everything down in the process, as usual. And then doing what she did. So, fans off, of course. Lumberjack match continues. So there's no background noise, of course, now, except the TV's running with audio from the shows, and any music by any means I don't own. So, I'll make that clear. So we'll have to see what happens here on both AEW and NXT. A vertical suplex off the top rope, ringside from Cody to Orange Cassidy, taking out everyone, including all the Lumberjacks in this Lumberjack match for the TNT title in AEW. So, and then also Cody just got brought back up by his brother in Gold Dust, Dustin Rhodes, as we see a replay by that. Thought he picked up Orange Cassidy there for a second. I thought he was going to take a few more shots at him, but helping up his brother. And then Cody sliding Orange Cassidy back in the ring now, and a kick out at 2. So this match gonna also continue, and then we'll have Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez start match about to begin once NXT returns. Here we go. Rhea already in the ring. Here comes Raquel Gonzalez with her entrance coming out of commercial break. So Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez, a women's singles match here tonight on NXT during Halloween Havoc, and then also in the meantime, hashtag AEW Dynamite when you share with hashtag Halloween Havoc as well. Cody Rhodes and Orange Cassidy for the AEW TNT title, winner to face Darby Allin at Full Gear for the championship. Clothesline from Cody. Cody pulling himself back up now with the ropes. Going to try to hit a power bomb, but then Orange Cassidy reverses it into a stunner of some sorts, and then hits a DDT off of the top rope before a kip up. And now Orange Cassidy gonna slam down Cody Rhodes. Cover 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. So once again, this match continues. What the hell is going to be the main event now of AEW? Along with NXT, I'm thinking NXT now, it's going to be Io Shirai and Candice LeRae with a potential Ember Moon interference of some sorts towards the end. Cody, in the meantime, hits a crossroads on Orange Cassidy. Cover 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes, once again, your winner over Orange Cassidy tonight in a rematch from a few weeks back. He's still your TNT champion. He's now going to face Darby Allin at Full Gear for the TNT title. All hell has broken loose on AEW with all the Lumberjacks. They're now all in the ring fighting one another. So Full Gear shaping up to be a good show as they pan to Darby Allin sitting by himself up in the nosebleeds, up in the top corner. And it'll be Cody, Darby Allin at Full Gear for the TNT title. Gun Club getting some TV time in the ring. Austin and Billy Gunn. We had Nightmare Family, Will Hobbs. Trying to think of a few of the other Lumberjacks I just saw. But they fade to black. They go to commercial break, following Cody and Orange Cassidy for the TNT title tonight on AEW, with Cody retaining. See, I'm thinking the main events, NXT is probably for sure going to be Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, because we've already seen Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes. Well, that match is still going on, to be continued. So that might close out the show, honestly, too. But are they going to put back-to-back women's matches back-to-back tonight on NXT? Probably not. So they'll continue that Haunted House of Terror match probably after this, and then they'll get into the main event. Because I don't think there's anything else planned, honestly, because we've already witnessed Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano, with Gargano becoming NXT North American Champion once again. We just saw, we're seeing Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez right now. We just saw Santos Escobar and Jake Atlas. Pat McAfee was on with Pete Dunne returning. NXT going to hit a commercial break as well, so side-by-side commercial breaks in the meantime too. Yeah, so Io and Candice, they have to main event unless the Haunted House Terror match is going to run from when it started before to be continued and this match began until the end of the show. But they'll probably end that after this, and then Io, Candice, and then with AEW, we've already seen Cody and Orange Cassidy. That just wrapped up. I'll get to chat questions and comments in a second. Stay tuned. Kenny Omega and Penta, they still got that to go. We saw Hangman defeat Wardlow. We saw Eddie Kingston and Matt Sydal. Saw the FTR Young Bucks segment. So Serena Deeb defending the NWA Women's Championship. That'll be the co-main event with Hangman. And Penta more so main eventing because we already saw the Inner Circle Town Hall as well. So, by the looks of it, it seems like they're putting all the good big stuff first, rather than saving and waiting until the end of the show. But with Io and Candice going to be the main event now, it looks like it'll be Ember Moon, Toni Storm, potentially even Rhea Ripley after this match interfering in some sort of nature to close out the show with NXT's overrun tonight. But in the meantime, as mentioned, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez on WWE NXT during Halloween Havoc, and then AEW back from a commercial break now as well. We got Best Friends with the Twitch tag team of Miro and Kip Sabian giving the Best Friends trick-or-treaters some candy. Penelope Ford, she went as Orange Cassidy for Halloween, and now we'll probably get a tag team match at Full Gear with Miro and Sabian against Best Friends, because Miro and Kip Sabian just attacked Best Friends as they're backstage in a hallway now, backstage in a janitor's room of some sorts, a locker room, if you will. Just all right. Penelope Ford got the Twitch tag team of Miro and Kip Sabian a new as Serena Deeb now going to make her appearance, so that match will be coming up next, and then we'll get Kenny Omega and Penta main eventing. Rhea and Raquel is going to continue the Haunted House of Terror, and then Io and Candice, and then we'll be done for the night. So we'll see how this shakes out, but at least Miro and Kip Sabian, they got their part of their video game board back from last week with the arcade handles, the controls, the control board for one of their arcade games that got broke up a few weeks back due to Best Friends damaging that, and basically being the how do I want to say this, the first seed planted for their feud. So we just had that backstage segment then, and then Penelope Ford won as Orange Cassidy for in a relationship with Penelope Ford. She gifted that to Miro and Kip, and then Miro and Kip attacked a best friend, so we'll probably get that at Full Gear, I'm thinking now, too. Yes, the mask is just for looks tonight. I do not have COVID-19 by any means. I'm not, one of those people that's going to be sitting at home wearing a mask, watching professional wrestling. So, yes, it's Halloween Havoc. I did something similar last year because come this Saturday, 1 year ago, however, with it being leap year, of course, the date's not lining up, of course, the exact day. It'll be a year ago now. Tomorrow it was Crown Jewel. They were over in Saudi Arabia. That's when Bray Wyatt beat Seth Rollins and became your new Universal Champion. And then all of everything that happened with the trip home, NXT invading SmackDown, Survivor Series in a few weeks. Here we are a year later. Crown Jewel was on Halloween last year, so we'll have a Halloween live stream this Saturday with college football, but I figured, why the hell not? It's Halloween Havoc. Vic Joseph laid down the challenge to Wade Barrett, who ended up going as Wade Barrett tonight. Bad news Wade Barrett, I should say. King Barrett, all the nicknames he has. Hey, dress up next week for Halloween Havoc. So here we are, this Bray Wyatt mask, actually, Fiend Bray Wyatt mask, I should say. If you're gonna get this one, or plastic one, or the $50 one that they have. That's a full face, not as good as your typical mask. And then, of course, they have the pricey one for forget how much, but I have to check. But that's like the deluxe replica. That's like spot on. But this is like your typical, not Halloween mask by any means, but like it's a good mask for not that bad of a price. So, and it's only a half mask. Like you can still see out of it. Honestly, I can still breathe out of this, surprisingly. It's got a little mouth hole that's covered up, and then it has nose holes so you can breathe. And like I said, I'm surprised I'm not sweating or not being able to breathe in this thing. So yeah, just for looks. Don't have COVID by any means, but yeah, this is your how do I want to put it? It's sort of like your typical Halloween mask, but it's not. I know it looks like what everybody's been wearing the past however long it's been, but it's good material. Like I said, it is actually surprisingly, it's not comfortable, but it's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be, if that makes sense. So yeah, especially wearing it for however long it's been since I started. 2-hour live stream with AEW and NXT tonight. We got side-by-side women's matches going on with AEW and NXT right now. Serena Deeb in the NWA Championship title defense, and then Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez on NXT. Yeah, the big dog himself. He was here earlier, and then we had as Rhea Ripley defeats Raquel Gonzalez on NXT Halloween Havoc. We'll get the Haunted House of Terror match continuing. The match with Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis that is a cinematic type of match this evening. We'll get that continuing on before the main event. This women's match we'll wrap up on AEW shortly, and then we'll get Kenny Omega and Penta. And Kenny Omega is going to be winning that before he faces off against Hangman Adam Page on a week from Saturday, AEW Full Gear. But yeah, we got the big dog. He's our tribal chief, not WWE's tribal chief. But yeah, we also had a few technical difficulties there earlier with a semi-black cat, like I said, if you were here. If not, shouldn't even be honestly bringing this up, but I don't know what the hell got into that thing. But it is Halloween time. We got a full moon coming up. We got Cameron Grimes running down some back road trying to escape Dexter Lumis, as he'll probably chase him down in that white van that he was driving a moment ago. And coming up next, we'll hit another commercial break, but coming up next, this Haunted House of Terror match will continue on NXT with Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis during Halloween Havoc this evening. So thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share hashtag AEW, hashtag WWE. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. So, yeah, been a wild, eventful night, honestly. Some good pro wrestling, and then some things I wasn't expecting to happen by any means, including Pete Dunne returning to NXT. By the looks of it, in a stable now, a 4-man faction for now at least, with Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, and Eddie Lorcan before they take on the Undisputed Era, more so than not, more likely than not, at a potential Survivor Series sort of match, whether or not they, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier with NXT potentially having an NXT takeover during Survivor Series weekend or not. We don't know at this point in time. Halloween Havoc tonight, we'll find out probably next week or the week after. But it looks like we'll get a 4-on-4 with the Undisputed Era, Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, Tony Lorcan, and the returning Pete Dunne. So, of course, we just got to let it play out and see what happens. But been actually a very, very good night with AEW and NXT. Time flying by. It's almost main event time already. So, first cinematic match in quite a while. This goes back to what I was saying with the House of Horrors match that WWE did back in 2017 with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. They're starting to pick back up on now on Monday Night Raw with Randy Orton, your new WWE champion. Hopefully he'll let the Fiend in, and we'll get and we probably will, with Orton and Bray for the WWE title come TLC or Royal Rumble, because they announced for Survivor Series, if in fact, and we both know, everyone knows for this matter, that both Orton and Reigns will be WWE and Universal Champions come Survivor Series. So typical Survivor Series champion versus championship match. We'll get Orton and Reigns on November the 22nd. I'll have live reactions by play of that pay-per-view, so be sure to tune back in. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. But first cinematic match since the Thunderdome came into play back in August. So actually the first cinematic match in 3 months, because the last one before then was during the horror show Extreme Rules. And that's when the Swamp Fight with Bray and Braun. Bray then won the Universal title at SummerSlam before the big dog, going back to the big dog, my big dog, WWE's big dog, made a return, and then a week later, Payback won the Universal title. And then since then, we've had the WWE draft. Things have been shaken up a little bit, but not by much. Still got some good feuds going on, so that's really all that matters. And if they can book it right, with Miz now being Money in the Bank, who knows what's going to happen. So thanks once again for tuning in and watching. Serena Deeb victorious. We now got Sheeta backstage being interviewed. So we'll get Kenny Omega and Penta coming up next, along with the conclusion of the Haunted House of Terror match with Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis. Dexter's probably going to end up winning. And then Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, in which they'll get a little bit of overrun past 10 o'clock. Now the ring general Walter on NXT UK, he's about ready to defend his NXT UK championship, I believe, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. However, in the meantime, totally forgot, Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, Shawn Spears in action tonight on AEW. This was an added filler from about 10 or so minutes into the show, after the opening contest with AEW this evening, their first commercial break, the promotion part, they added in Shawn Spears and whoever the hell this dude is. Oh my. Hollywood Hulk Hogan making a return during Halloween Havoc tonight. You. Who the hell's that? And then who the hell's that? Rockstar Spud being sandwiched, Drake Maverick, by a few people dressed up as former wrestlers as Halloween, and then Killian Dane going as a Shockmaster coming out of the curtain. So yeah, it's Halloween time. You gotta dress the part, if willing, of course. So the Shockmaster helmet, as Drake Maverick puts it on, trips and falls. All that is a Darth Vader helmet. It's decked out. Cameron Grimes running back to Orlando, to the PC, the Capitol Wrestling Center, hashtag Halloween Havoc. We now got Shawn Spears grabbing somebody out of the crowd that has some type of mascot head on. It's like a bowl of some sorts or something. I don't know who it's going to be by any means, but actually it's Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky now from behind on Shawn Spears, as Tully Blanchard for some reason continues to manage him as well. And then Scorpio Sky taking out Shawn Spears. Scorpio Sky dressed up as a bull for Halloween. Cameron Grimes in the meantime running back to the Capitol Wrestling Center. Back ringside, it looks like he's laying down on the ground now. He's in the graveyard part. Dexter Lumis is going to be lurking somewhere. He's probably going to pop out from behind one of the headstones. Now we got some more zombies running around. We're not at the house anymore. The Haunted House of Terror, but the Haunted House of Terror moves from place to place regardless of where you're at. And now Cameron Grimes back in the ring. We got some smoke, though, behind him. Sheeta's going to face Nyla Rose at Full Gear for the AEW Women's title. They need to figure out their women's division, I tell you what. NXT's been doing a little bit better job as of late, but AEW, they still need to figure out their women's division, I think. Cody and Darby Allin now official as well for the TNT title. Running Bulldog from Dexter Lumis to Cameron Grimes. We also got Chris Jericho and MJF. And I believe it said if MJF is victorious, he'll be able to join the Inner Circle. Orange Cassidy also going to be in action as well. That'll be during the buy-in. Le Champion Chris Jericho will be on commentary next week for AEW. We'll get Sammy Guevara and Ortiz taking on MJF and Wardlow. I do believe I saw that right. Yeah. And then Miro versus Trent in singles competition with Kip Sabian and Chucky T ringside. Shawn Spears and Scorpio Sky already made official for next week as well on AEW. And then Cody and the Gun Club taking on the Dark Order. No Brody Lee, though. So, we'll see what's up with him. Same thing with King Corbin, Baron Corbin. He hasn't been seen lately on WWE TV. John Moxley, Eddie Kingston face-to-face before their championship bout a week from Saturday at Full Gear as well. However, up next, Kenny Omega and Penta L0M, Penta John Jr. Omega is going to pick up the win and then face Hangman Adam Page to determine the new number one contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Cameron Grimes getting taken out by zombies, getting rock-bottomed by Dexter Lumis in the middle of the ring tonight during this Haunted House of Terror match during NXT. As Halloween Havoc returns now in a submission. His pants are almost falling off. And Cameron Grimes, Betty Bye, going to sleep. Dexter Lumis going to pick up the win. Dexter Lumis going to defeat Cameron Grimes tonight at Halloween Havoc. And with the help of some zombies and a few different locations, he was able to do so. So, future's bright for Dexter Lumis. If only they could. Same thing with Cameron Grimes. They haven't booked him right. Like, Grimes is honestly one of the best wrestlers that they have. But they're not. And of course, I get they're trying to change it up, be different than what he's been before. But if that's what it takes to go back to what he's done and shown what he's capable of, so be it. Because Cameron Grimes is this backwoods type of guy from Carolina. I mean, it's just not working out. He's been so close, but maybe eventually they'll do something with him. They're finally doing something with Kushida. Kushida and Velveteen Dream in a feud right now. However, they're not on the card tonight. Could be come next week or during the next takeover event, whenever that's going to be as mentioned. But the end for the Haunted House of Terror match with Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis. Coming up next, though, it'll be Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal, as we saw that stipulation kick off the night in a Devil's Playground match with Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, your new NXT North American champion. Now his wife and Candice LeRae gonna battle Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship in a Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal match. We'll find out the official match coming up shortly as we continue to see this video package before tonight's main event. We'll probably have a no-holds-barred type of match of some sorts again. Yeah, and this is a rematch from TakeOver 31 as well. I totally forgot about that. Gargano came out as the ref. She almost won, but Io retained, and now they're going to face off again coming up next. And like I said, it's Shotzi's in another outfit up on the stage, about to spin the wheel after the upcoming entrances. She's hosting Halloween Havoc tonight. Spin the wheel chance. We need either Bob Barker or Drew Carey now, along with Wayne Brady, to come out to mix up. Of course, Price is Right, and let's make a deal for, hey, let's spin the wheel and make a deal. So, we kicked off Halloween Havoc with a spin the wheel, make a deal match. We're going to close out the night as well, and the main event coming up next. So, the Cleaner is back. Kenny Omega gonna defeat Penta coming up, and then he'll more so than not probably defeat Hangman as well at Full Gear, just because the Cleaner gimmick is back. If they didn't have that return, I'd say Hangman, but it seems like they're high on Kenny Omega right now, and then he'll go out, and whoever is going to be world champion after Full Gear, it'll probably still be Moxley, but you never know if Eddie Kingston's going to win it. It'll be Moxley dropping the title at some point to Kenny Omega, and then Kenny Omega is going to become your new AEW World Champion, probably at Revolution, as Moxley won it against Jericho last February, so Moxley at that point would have held it a year. Time to drop it, put it on Omega, build the company around him then for, it'd be year 2 going into year 3. So, we'll see what happens moving forward. But Kenny Omega now making his appearance tonight on AEW. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share as well. Chat questions and comments. Super chats. Super stickers. Always greatly appreciated.
Who else reads books about submarines?
My dad.
Oh, those are...
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
That, let him go.
We came to see our grandson.
We don't have to answer to you.
Go ahead, Lane.
I'll be coming back here without him.
A lot behind.
Let Him Go. Looks like a good movie. Might have to go see that. But hopefully, the WWE is going to let the Fiend Bray Wyatt in, and let him in, as Alexa Bliss is basically your new sister Abigail. What she's doing right now with the Fiend on Firefly Funhouse, Mona Bliss, all that wrapped up into one and spun around a few times until whatever the hell comes out at the end. Magic with what they're doing right now. Like I was saying, in my eyes, I mean, honestly, it has gotten better since probably mid to late August for both of these companies, for that matter. I mean, it seemed like, and it sort of always is, you know, over the summer, it's not slow, but it's, for some reason, just sometimes not as good as what it normally is, you know, fall through the spring, with, for the most part, all the big pay-per-views running at that time. For some reason, Kenny Omega's got a championship title around his waist, underneath his shirt, that he was about to compete with on. I don't know why. But Tommaso Ciampa now cutting a promo backstage. This is the unlucky 13th Halloween Havoc in history. So, yeah, like I was saying, with some interference a little bit ago on my end, with, of course, Halloween coming up. Happy Halloween, everyone. Full moon. Everybody's been crazy since the middle of March. So, and if not, you know, you're probably a step or two away from turning that dial, you know, all the way up. They need to do something with Ciampa. They do. He'll probably go up against Gargano, and I mean, I stated that back I believe it was before TakeOver 30. You know, that'd be a good route to go. But, of course, it took 2 months. But, hey, as long as we get to it, honestly, best thing to do, and hopefully they do go that way. Still don't know who that Grim Reaper was from earlier, though, that helped out Gargano to defeat Damian Priest.
The greatest sports entertainer of all time, and for a
So,
very long time, Tommaso Ciampa was NXT.
there's a few superstars that were NXT, and then whether or not they got called up or stayed down and whatever happened to them. There's a few, even though Ciampa, you're good, there's a few out there that are a little bit better.
A 25-year-old prodigy, oozing it factor, who can't seem to get out of his own damn way. How's that old saying go? You hit me with a cast once, shame on you. You hit me with a cast twice,
Shame on me.
you're a dead man.
You're a dead man. All right, that's a different one. That's a little bit better. Sorry for any technical difficulties. Buffering, disconnect, reconnect. Once again, it's Halloween time. That overheating, even though it's cooling down, returns. As Halloween Havoc return tonight for the first time in 20 years. The unlucky 13th event tonight. Just left off a moment ago. Didn't miss anything hardly, other than these entrances for tonight's main event with Candice LeRae, and now here comes Io Shirai. But they just announced for NXT next week a few matches. Ember Moon's going to face somebody. Didn't catch who that was. So sorry to whoever she will be facing next week. Yeah, didn't catch that, as in the meantime, that's when that cut out. And then Ciampa is going to face, as we left off with Ciampa cutting that backstage promo. It'll be Tommaso Ciampa and the Velveteen Dream in singles competition. So, you know, like I was saying, right now it seems to me we're once again at one of those times of the year where everything's just clicking, it's all connecting, and it's all turning to gold. I'm sure he wants Goldie for North American title again. Former tag team partners, of course, DIY, but, you know, we'll have to see what happens. Of course, that's why you gotta sit down and watch, let it all play out. They're still gonna do what they want to do regardless, so is what it is. Omega and Penta determine the other participant in the finals of this year's AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament, with the finals at Full Gear a week from Saturday. Hangman already in it. He's going to take on Omega because Kenny Omega's going to win this. Spin the wheel. Make a deal. We're going to spin the wheel one final time tonight and see what type of match this is going to be. Tables, ladders, and scares. Oh my. So a TLC match with Io Shirai and Candice LeRae for the NXT Women's Championship. They changed her rocking chair as well to a electric chair up on the top of the stage. And now you're going to have to climb. Tables, ladders, and scares match. No pinfalls or submissions, no DQs or countouts. The only way to win. As we saw in I Quit match on Sunday at Hell in a Cell with the Big Dog, our new Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso for the Universal title. The only way to win this TL Scares match, as Candice LeRae drags a table out. There's something sitting on that table, though. The only way to win is to climb that ladder and retrieve the championship title, and you'll become champion. And now we got a dismembered body coming out of a sack. Of course, those are fake, but Io Shirai grabbing a fake arm, a fake leg, something you'd see on Dateline, and Io was just hitting Candice with those. Now another table and a ladder being brought out from underneath the ring. As Io's on top of the ladder, laying down on the floor, ringside. Candice with another ladder, hitting her in the midsection. Kenny Omega and Penta continues. Super kick right to the back of the knee. And then Io sending Candice face first into the steel post. Going back, to what I was saying with for some reason, I don't know why. Normally you'd always say that till the end. But NXT, they open and they close with a spin the wheel, make a deal match. And Io also got a musical entrance with an artist, as Damian Priest did. Priest lost his championship, so is Candice LeRae going to become NXT Women's Championship? I wouldn't mind it. She deserves it. It'll be the Gargano way then, because they'll both be champions. Candice just picked up a briefcase of some sorts. Okay, Vic Joseph says a laptop. Where's Waldo? And hit Io right in the head. And Candice, in the meantime, looking underneath the ring once again. The third ladder, for some unknown reasons, is going to be drug out. And NXT going to have a little overrun till about 8-10 after, so they say. We'll see for sure. But AEW going to be wrapping up here in a short 5 or so minutes, I'd say, and then with this main event championship women's match on NXT just beginning, they'll give it time. Obviously paying for that extra time, the overrun, but now we got the ladder set up in between the announce table and the ring. Somebody's going to jump off the top rope with an elbow or frog splash. Somebody's going to be laying on that ladder, and they're going to go through. But as I was saying there, I don't get why, unless they have something planned, of course. I'm saying with NXT, Ember Moon, Toni Storm, who I believe that's the women's match that they advertised for next week. I could be wrong, but even Rhea Ripley interfering at the end of this, or Gargano coming out, and they celebrate as husband and wife champions after Halloween Havoc tonight. And then good for both of them. Candice finally becoming champion if that does in fact happen. Then AEW with Kenny Omega main eventing, which, don't get me wrong, he's a main event superstar, main event wrestler any day of the week for any company, anywhere. I don't care if he's wrestling North America, overseas, wherever. Just a little weird, you would have thought, Town Hall with the Inner Circle and MJF, would be in this segment, or Cody Orange Cassidy for the TNT title. But of course, it's not how it's always going to be. They'll play it out how they want to do it. So we live with it one way or another. We always sit down and watch it. So it is what it is. Whatever they're going to do is what they're going to do in the end. So here we are, and NXT going to hit once again another split screen commercial. That fake dismembered body ringside. Body outline on top of that table. There's a body outline on top of that table. Penta, oh my god, and Kenny Omega off on their own now. Jesus Christ. Right on the entrance. And then Penta going for, oh my god. Going for a pile driver, that connects, and then Kenny Omega, I don't know why I'm saying Cody Rhodes. Kenny Omega kicking out at 2.5. Yeah, Cody Rhodes victorious over Orange Cassidy earlier. once again, and then he'll defend the TNT title full gear against Darby Allin. But a huge pile driver from Penta to third time's a charm. Kenny Omega. Third time's a charm might be good for somebody else next week. Might not be, though. We'll see. But now a promo for the WWE Thunderdome, Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. Live reactions, play-by-play. Live right here on YouTube of college football, the NFL, and professional wrestling. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Main event matches. One for a women's championship. The other determined the other competitor in the AEW World. And now we got two tables set up with a body outline. Those are, of course, ringside in front of the entrance. And the ladders even are decked out in Halloween colors. They're orange and black. Maybe orange will be the new black with this Candice with her right hand. Kenny Omega with a elbow right side of the head. Now a chop. Make that two chops. Hey, third time's a charm there with the chop. Kenny Omega off the ropes, gonna go for a clothesline. Just got super kicked. Gonna pick up Pentel ZRM, Pentagon Jr. That was, I tell you what. Candice now the chair shot right to the back. We got a few minutes left. AEW put on a good show, I thought. Thought WWE NXT, though, has as well. And now the overrun here past the 10 o'clock hour. This is a tables, ladders, and scares match. I wonder if they had the spin the wheel, make a deal rigged up, knowing, hey, these are the two matches you're getting tonight. And, you know, go out and do your best, but I mean, maybe not. I mean, that's the point of it. Whatever it's going to land on is what you're going to do. A double knee from Io. Candice moved out of the way, and she went right into the ladder that was set up into the corner. Still a ladder set up in the middle of the ring. All you have to do is climb it, grab the championship title, and you win. Now those two. So now Candice getting up top. Io's setting up a few steel chairs. We've seen a lot of these spots as of late. Off the top rope, a vertical suplex or a power slam of some sorts. Through tables that are set up. Like sitting up like so you can sit on the chairs. And then they get down. They move it back a little bit. And then Io locks Candice's left leg in a steel chair. And she stands on the ring apron. and then twists and turns. Candace, right then and there, as the ref checks in, might have blew her knee out. And then 619 misses. However, steel chair shot right to the back of Io Shirai. She lands on the ring apron. And now we're going to have a powerbomb maybe, or a DDT. Through the tables. I am the table, not tonight. Candice LeRae just put both herself and Io Shirai through those tables set up ringside. And now the Grim Reaper once again coming out to help out the Gargano family, as he helped out Johnny Gargano against Damian Priest to kick off NXT Halloween Havoc tonight to win the NXT North American title. And now the Grim Reaper is helping out Candice LeRae, puts her on top of the ladder in the middle of the ring to grab the championship title. But here comes Shotzi Blackheart from behind, taking out the Grim Reaper. So who the hell was underneath that? Who the hell is the Grim Reaper? It has to be a woman. But Candice LeRae, in the meantime, is at the top of the ladder, about ready to grab the championship title. And here comes Io Shirai setting up a ladder right next, and actually more so in the middle of the ring compared to grab that NXT Women's Championship. Candice LeRae pushes Io Shirai off of the ladder. Candice LeRae grabbing the NXT Women's Championship. Io trying to push the ladder down. She's going to do just that. And then through the ladder ringside that they set up at the beginning of this match, on the ring apron, set up in between the ring and the announce table, Candice LeRae just went through that. All Io Shirai has to do now is climb that ladder and grab that NXT Women's Championship, and she'll retain her NXT Women's title this evening. And that's going to be how NXT Halloween Havoc 2020 ends. Io Shirai still your NXT Women's Champion, defeating Candice LeRae this evening. Very, very good match. No wonder they had that as the main event. NXT chance. That was a damn good main event match with Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. That honestly might have been the match of the night between both AEW and NXT, for that matter. That was a damn good match. Very, very good match. However, the Grim Reaper didn't strike twice. Johnny Gargano, new NXT North American Champion. However, his wife, Candice LeRae, not able to become NXT Women's Champion tonight during Halloween Havoc. A few replays now. Damn good match, like I said. I mean, there's too much to go over. I mean, just from start to finish, including the finish. Once they went home in the finish, I mean, Shotzi came out and took out the Grim Reaper. She hosts Halloween Havoc tonight. I, of course, just want to know who the hell the Grim Reaper was, who was underneath there. It had to have been a woman, you would have thought. I mean, it could have been two different people, though. You know, somebody earlier on, and then they changed to whoever it was just, you know, at the end, or it could, you know, be just some nobody that they're not going to, you know, do anything with, and, you know, that's the end of it. We're not going to have any more Grim Reapers in NXT until next Halloween for Halloween Havoc, even if they do or don't bring it back. But that'll do it also now for NXT this evening. And that'll do it as well for my live reactions play-by-play of both AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT this evening, with Halloween Havoc. Candice LeRae to retain her NXT Women's Championship. So tonight on AEW, Cody defeated Orange Cassidy in the TNT title lumberjack match. He's still your AEW TNT champion. He'll now face Darby Allin a week from Saturday, November the 7th at AEW Full Gear for that championship title. The AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament continued with the semifinals. Hangman Adam Page defeated Wardlow. Kenny Omega defeated Penta El Zero and Pentagon Jr. So now at Full Gear, to determine the new number one contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, it'll be Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega. Eddie Kingston was also victorious over Matt Sydal. FTR and the Young Bucks had their little interview that they had, and they'll face off, as we knew last week, a week from Saturday, also at Full Gear for the AEW World Tag Team titles. We also had the Inner Circle Town Hall meeting, where now at Full Gear as well, it'll be Chris Jericho and MJF in singles competition. Halloween Havoc. Darkness was unleashed. We did have some evil reawakening tonight. They had said some aspects, that's why I included it, of the show, very well were going to be changed, could be changed due to the most recent COVID outbreak in NXT, but by the looks of it, with what they promoted, they went through with everything, and a damn good show. Damn good shows by both AEW and NXT tonight, I thought. However, Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, that tables, ladders, and scares match following the spin a wheel, make a deal match, I thought that was the match of the night, honestly. Io Shirai, still your NXT Women's Champion, as that main event and just closed out the show. But we kicked off the night on NXT with Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. That was also a spin the wheel, make a deal match, as Halloween Havoc returned for the first time in 2 decades, 20 years. Tonight, a few nights before the full moon and Halloween this upcoming Saturday, we had a Devil's Playground match with Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American title. Gargano, once again, your new NXT North American champion. Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Gonzalez. Santos Escobar also defeated Jake Atlas. Pete Dunne made a return tonight, too, as he aligned himself with Pat McAfee, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan, as they took out Kyle O'Reilly. So over the next few weeks, I'm thinking, we could have that foursome take out everyone of the Undisputed Era until Adam Cole comes out then. And then that sets up a 4-on-4 Survivor Series type of match, as mentioned. At the next NXT TakeOver event, whenever that's going to be, we'll probably find out that now next week, following Halloween Havoc tonight, or even at Survivor Series, if they don't have a TakeOver that weekend, if they're going to save it for afterwards and then leading into Christmas. But we'll see. But that Pat McAfee segment with Burch and the boys taking out Kyle O'Reilly was damn good too. But it'll be Undisputed Era versus those four at some point, I'm thinking. The Haunted House, well put together. I thought that was good as well. Everything top to bottom. I mean, from start to finish. Coming in, we knew the cards were stacked. It was all executed, I thought, extremely well. And it all turned out, and it was a damn good show by both AEW and NXT this evening. But that Haunted House Terror match actually ran a few segments plus commercial breaks, as they to be continued it, and then of course ended it with The End and Dexter Lumis, with the help of some zombies, was able to defeat Cameron Grimes. So that'll do it for AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT, as Halloween Havoc made its first grab on social media. Links in the description below. Hopefully we'll tune in for more live reactions, play-to-play, live right here on YouTube this upcoming weekend, with college football, Ohio State, Penn State, along with Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on NXT Women's Champion. We have AEW Full Gear now a week from Saturday. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.